I'm glad they didn't. Before I get into my printed remarks, I'm short too. Before I get in my printed remarks here, I'm kind of reminiscing. We're talking about Tom Monahan. I ran into him in high school. In a way, he's the guy that got me started in volunteerism business, because I became an official for basketball and baseball in the grammar school league. We all remember a grammar school league, don't we? Yeah. And he was our mentor, and anytime you had a problem with a coach or with something in the book, you'd always go to him. He was a very, very nice man. The other story comes to mind is the Josephson twins. They may not know this, but when Dot Donnelly was running the program at the boys' club, at the girls' club, well, yes, at the boys' club, because they didn't have the swimming pool yet. And at that time, I was putting on the aquatic shows. Many of you probably remember the aquatic shows that we put on every year. Well, one year we had about 5 Olympians. That was great. They all came in from Yale. But that was the first time that the girls' club synchronized swimming people ever performed in front of a group. And I consider that a great honor. And I mean, they've gotten all kind of honors over the years. Let's see, Venison. He mentioned my brother Ben. I know Ben and his father were very close. And I couldn't have had a better brother than Ben. He was a great guy. Okay, let me see, who did I miss? Who else was up there? Who else was up there?
Tommy.
Well, Tommy. Yeah. Well, Tommy Chopin mentioned my brother again. Earlier when I was talking about with him, he mentioned that Ben was a great help to him. Well, anyone who knew Benny, they knew that he loved baseball. And if you just listen to him, you would learn. Okay. As I say, I wouldn't have said all of this stuff if I was the last or first. Big Al mentioned about volunteerism. Well, I introduced myself to many people as a professional volunteer. As I just mentioned, I started when I was about 14 years old with Tom Monahan and his program at the high school. From there, I went to the boys' club. Many people don't realize, but I was a very shy kid. And for me to get up in front of people like this, that would have been impossible. Now I'm just a hand. This is old stuff for me. Okay, well, let's get back to the boys' club. First, I was working with the little children. I was older than them. I was 18, 19 years old. And I started teaching the little kids. So naturally, you were speaking to a group, right? Okay, eventually I had to teach life saving, so you're teaching the high school kids or whatever. And then before you know it, I was teaching the adults and what have you. So little by little, this came over the years, but it took a little doing, okay? So all right, now we're back to the what do you call it? I have received many state and national honors as a volunteer. And actually, every one of them was very, very satisfying to me. But when I received the award from the Tramps people, that was home. That was home. Now I'm being honored again by home. And this is great. It's great to me and great to my family that I am up here right now. As I say, the greatest pleasure is for me to be honored by my peers. A while ago, the President of the United States asked Colin Powell to take over a program on volunteerism. According to what I read, it's not going over too well. What I would suggest the Colonel or the General to do is come to Bristol. Really. Because I think Bristol is a very, very, very great town as far as volunteerism. Big Al congratulated the fellas from the American Legion up there. How did they get where they are? All those volunteers over the American Legion who have set up these programs for these young people to compete on the state, region, and national level. If it wasn't for all those volunteers, this program would not be lasted as long as it has. We have for a town like, a mid-sized town like this, city as this, we have a lot of activities. And I mean, there's so many of them that I'll probably miss a few. We got the Little League. If it wasn't for all the volunteers we have in the Little League, I am quite sure Giamatti wouldn't be over here, the complex over there, which I think is unusual for a mid-sized town like the city as we have. I keep saying town because I've been here so long that it was a town at one time. If the city through their parks and recreation program had to pay for everyone who was involved in these programs, the budget would be twice as much as it is now. They're doing a great job, and all of these volunteers are helping them. Some of the programs are the Little League, the girls softball. Incidentally, I think it's great what has happened to girls sports. I never had any daughters. I didn't have any daughters. I have 3 sons. But Tom and I spoke about that before it even started. And as I say, I think it's great. These girls, I drive down King Street and see those softball girls out there. I think it's great. So the boys had it, now the girls got it, which is great. I don't care how much money they spend on the girls program, but it's great. As I mentioned, we have the girls softball, we have the midget football. That's great, midget football. I never was a football player, but still great. And then the adult sport programs that the city is putting on. Again, I'm repeating myself. If it wasn't for all of these volunteers, we would not have that. The city couldn't afford it. Between the United Way and the volunteers, it was possible to keep the dues at the 2 boys clubs. When I say boys club and girls club, I still consider them as separate, but now they changed their names all around. I'm completely confused. If it wasn't for the volunteers in the United Way, we couldn't afford to join the boys club or the girls club. So they keep the dues of the clubs affordable. I would like to accept this honor in the name of all the mothers and the fathers who are participating with their children in the various events. As I say, I was talking about the American Legion. If it wasn't for Mama, today it's kind of politically correct to say soccer moms. But the soccer moms, as far as I am concerned, are the moms that were involved with the Little League back when Steggs Tarsi and that gang were in there a lot of years ago. And as I say, these moms, while Daddy is out making a buck, Mom's out there with the chauffeuring all these kids around. When my son was playing Little League, I could see these moms over there. My working hours were pretty good, so I could get there. But it's tremendous, the kind of volunteerism that we have in the city of Bristol. Okay, let's see, where am I here? I mentioned the many women involved here, the soccer moms and what have you. Well, I'm being honored here, but because of all my volunteerism, but who was home bringing up my 3 sons? Mama. So if you don't mind, I would like to introduce my wife, and I want to publicly acknowledge the fact that she was very, very good to me over the last 51 years. Stand up, Mom. Yeah, I said, I wish my wife would stand up. That's where I am. You know, if I didn't have these notes, I'd be here all night like Julie. Okay. At the same time that I'm recognizing my wife, I would like to recognize my 3 sons and my daughter-in-law. Would you please stand up? Sneaked in on me. He came all the way from Nashville to be here. Thank you. And again, that was Mama's doing. She kept the secret. I don't know how she did it, but she did. Okay, let me see. Yeah, also to complete our family, I should have made this a double space. That's what To complete our family, our son Peter gave us 2 grandchildren, a boy and a girl, and the boy is very, very active in sports, and he's only 7 years old. Okay, yes, and while I'm introducing people, I want to introduce my nephew Greg. People who know my brother Ben, that's his only child. And the reason I'm introducing him, along with the rest of them, is because we are continuing a dynasty that started off with my brother Ben and my sister Veronica. I am involved, my children are involved, my nephew is involved up to here. He's worse than his father was. And so at this time, I would like the committee for choosing me as one of the recipients. It's a very great honor to me. I have that written down here. A very great honor to be received by my peers again. And I'm going to close with one thing that I forgot to say. So in my opening remarks, Julia Larice, this isn't commonly known, but he was my mentor in swimming. I swam my first swimming meet alongside of Julia Larice at the Middletown YMCA. Okay? Julia Larice was all done swimming, dried off, he was ready to get in the bus, and I climbed out of the water.